the reason he's in the all over the news right now is because of all the things that are coming out about the flood control scandal, the mess, right, and all the budget insertions. So, and again, we keep coming back to the fact that he was appropriations chair in the 19th Congress, and he obviously would have presided over the small committee in the House where allegedly a lot of these insertions and realignments happened. So if there was anyone, no, I don't think anyone's accusing him of wrongdoing yet, but if there's anyone who can answer all of these questions around the budget, it would be him, no? So how amenable do you think he'd be to answering, to clearing his name if need be?
As we all know that the General Appropriation Act is not just a work of one person. It is an act of Congress which was signed into law, meaning General Appropriation Bill was approved in the House of Representatives, transmitted to the Senate, and then the Senate also conduct its own hearings, scrutinize the budget, insert their own initiatives in the budget, and the House and the Senate, convene together to harmonize the conflicting provisions of the General Appropriation Bill. And the committee report of the BICAM will be ratified by both houses of Congress. Ang gusto ko lang sabihin dito, hindi lang naman si Kong Saldi ang nakakaalam ng buong budget dahil ito ay trabaho ng lahat ng kapukunan ng Kongreso, the Senate and the House of Representatives. And that's why nagtataka ako kay Toby why he keeps on insisting that Kong Saldi should explain the same, especially on insertion. Remember that when the budget was approved and when the BICAM report was ratified by both houses of Congress, ang boto ni Kong Toby was both in the affirmative. Bumoto siya in the affirmative. So bakit siya patuloy na nagrereklamo? But speaking of insertion, siguro inadmit niya na kanina na totoo nga yung kanyang insertion ng 525 million for the 2025 General Appropriation Act. And most of his insertion, Toby Chanco, na ilagay doon sa flood control sa Nabotas. And ako naman nagtataka sa kanya because he's conspicuously silent on those takers, contractors being awarded by this flood control project sa kanyang distrito na kung saan nai-involve sa mga ghost project. Nandyan Sims Construction, which was already blacklisted by the DPWH. Nandyan din yung St. Timothy. I think St. Timothy is the biggest taker of his flood control projects in his district. Sobra sa kalahating bilyon ang pinanalo ng St. Timothy sa kanyang distrito. Kasama na rin yung mga Diskaya related contractors, yung Alpha and Omega, nandyan yung Top Notch. So this four combined, halos 1 bilyon yung pinanalong flood control project sa distrito ni Toby Chanco. Kaya nagtataka ako kung bakit hindi niya inimbestigahan yung sarili niyang bakuran.
Actually, Kong, I was speaking to him yesterday as well, and I did ask him about the contractors, and he said he doesn't know them. He doesn't usually get involved in that. And he only recently spoke to the district engineer in Navotas to try to find out if any of the top 15 contractors that President Marcos outlined had projects in this area. And true enough, meron nga St. Timothy and Sims. So he said basically he doesn't know. But anyways, the larger point...
Siya na rin nagsabi na hindi makakapasok ang kontraktor pag hindi kakilala ng district congressman. Galing yan sa kanyang bibig. At nakapagtataka dahil naging paborito sa distrito niya ang St. Timothy at Alpha and Omega na kung saan ito ay nai-involve sa mga maanomalya at ghost projects. So siguro doon sana sa pagdinig ng TRICOM committee, he took advantage of the presence of those contractors and asked questions. Paano kayo nakapasok sa aking distrito? Tinulungan ko ba kayo? bakit halos sa 1 bilyon ang inyong nalikom na kontrata sa aking distrito samantalang bilyon-bilyong flood control projects ang naibaba sa kanyang distrito. Until now, baha pa rin po ang nabotas.
Hmm. Uh, to be fair, every single one of the congressmen we've spoken to about this issue say they don't know paano napasok yung insertions under their district. I'll give you an example. Just recently, we spoke to Oriental Mindoro Congressman Arnan Panaligan, who was in fact identified in Senator Ping Lacson's privileged speech. And pati si Congressman Panaligan, he said, well, I don't know how all of these insertions were put under my district. And sabi din ng ibang congressman, it's entirely plausible that they have become the unwitting beneficiaries of the insertions. Kaya nga, we keep coming back to the minutes of the
Let's give
small
it the
committee.
benefit of the doubt. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. But as you know, the 529 million, of which his insertion, his initiative, nilabi niya yun sa Kongreso at na-approve nga na isama sa 2025 budget. Naman sa pagkikipaglaban niya noon sa deliberation sa budget, baka sabihin niya rin na nakalimutan niya na pati yung bidding at pag-implement doon. In fact, there's one letter addressed to him, and this is all documented, informing him and asking his assistance for the implementation of a project being implemented, contracted out to St. Timothy. So ang sabi, kailangan namin ng tulong mo dito upang ito ay ma-facilitate at ma-implement. Naka-address po sa kanya yung sulat. Ang nagsulat sa kanya yung DPWH. So to say na wala siyang alam sa implementation is siguro naman kaduda-duda, no?